Okay, so we're at the Springfield sale. You see an umbrella. It rained all morning. It's supposed to rain most of the day. We paid for early tickets to get in at 7, and most of the vendors are closed on the outside because of the rain. Pooh, I say, but I'm sure we will find some treasures. Chris, this morning we have a wagon just in case we do find somebody that's open.
Look up at the sky.
What am I looking up at?
How nice and gray it is.
Oh, nice and gray. Yeah, like I said, a lot of people are not even opened. Bummer. I think there's stuff in the inside of a building, so I guess we'll pop in there because that's going to be available. Might have to pop over and look at this furniture first, though. Let me go. They're cool, but I'm sure, yeah, antique store. So we weren't sure what the prices here would be. So with the rain, it was really hard to film because you needed to hold an umbrella. You didn't want to get your camera wet. So I am trying to show you a little bit of what they're, I mean, some of them were flea market, some of them were antique. Like this one's a little bit flea market. I wasn't sure if these were reproduction lucite candles or not. Now, if I felt like they were real, she was selling them for $10 a pair, I probably would have picked them up. But I was on the fence there if they were real lucite. But you know, y'all, if you follow my channel, you know I love primitives, but primitives were all antique store prices, so it was really hard to get our hands on any of it, but I loved enjoying them. But Chris would not let me get this big old cement sheep. Yes, it is solid cement. Anyway, so lots of ironstone, but it was not ironstone prices that I could touch to resell. I really, unless it's something really unique, I don't need any more for my collection. I am overflowing myself, but I do enjoy looking at it and sharing it with y'all. But you can see that the rain was a little bit too much, so we decided to head over to, holy cow, this humongous antique store. I had not walked right in and look at all this beautiful glass. You can definitely tell that we are in a different area than our little town of Allen, Michigan, with all the beautiful glassware, all these beautiful swung vases. Oh, y'all know that I have a heart for swung vases. And then with that being said about the swung vases, a lot of these dealers did take some of their inventory and they were selling at the flea market. So these swung vases got resold or got taken to anyway to the flea market in the hopes of being sold. You have to have self-control because you don't need a whole bunch of terracotta pots. Look at all those. Oh my gosh, they could all come home with me, right? Love them all. Need them? Not.
Peanuts. Yeah. And it's like Keith thought. I was going to tell you about that. Well, 445.
Chris says we don't have anything to worry about in this booth because I think that he is right, but it is right up my alley. Oh, that was a pottery barn. We don't want a pottery barn. Let's get to that. There you go. It's an ironstone. It's a bowl, though. Don't necessarily need a door, but here's some beautiful. That's not a bad price. $39. And they had two sides that looked exactly like this. Holy cow. Craziness. So we're going to share day one of the Ohio Springfield show. If this looks weird in the background, doesn't look like our own home. We were traveling back on Sunday, so to give you a video on Sunday, I was going to film my haul for the day one in our hotel room. This is day two when I'm filming it. It's 85 degrees, hot. So yes, we went early for day two, but that I'll show you day two next week, just to kind of separate the hauls, because I thought we did good even in that pouring rain. We trucked through it, got wet, had to change of shoes. That's the shoes. If you ever come to the sale, on the first day, Chris tracked that we 10 point 10 point, he's off camera, he didn't want to be on camera. So 10.2 miles we walked in one day. No wonder my legs were tired, y'all. Oh, good shoes, good shoes. Yes, I had very good shoes on that I purchased right before this trip. That's in between going to the flea market and then visiting a couple of the antique, like they have huge antique malls down here. So anyway, with that being said, even though it rained, we still found some treasures. Not all the booths were open, as you saw. So yeah, anyway, and people were willing to deal. I am not usually one to like make an offer. I usually just pay sticker price, but this is a flea market and that's what you're supposed to do. So I went down there looking for things that I know I can resell. So I can know that I can put them in my retail booth or put them on eBay. So I went with like a mental list of things that I was looking for. So Chris is gonna hand me the first piece. So the first piece is this blue crockery bowl. I haven't had blue crockery bowls in a long time. The other day I ran into a gentleman actually looking for some and he couldn't find any in our whole antique mall. So I thought, you know, if I run across them and they're cost efficient for me to make enough profit on, I will pick them up. The other thing that I was in desperate need for, you would think is kind of weird, flower frogs. This one I'll have to have Chris pull apart. But yes, flower frogs, because I've been staging them with like bingo cards or numbers or old price tags in my booth, cow tags, like the brass cow tags. So they have been selling like hotcakes all of a sudden. So I was in desperate need of flower frogs. So anytime I saw one, there again, it had to be cost efficient. Now remember, this was a flea market / antique. So a lot of the booths were antique store prices. but you could, you know, reasonable offer if I felt like I could make a reasonable offer. So on our way to the antique store, or on the way to the flea market, we did stop at a couple garage sales. They were all epic fails, so we decided, was there any antique stores on the way? And we stopped in this small little town, Urbania, which is so super cute. Anybody that's local to this area. And one of the first things I found was a campfire marshmallow tin. Not that I needed one. I'm actually looking to resell it, and the booth, it was a good price, and then the booth was 30% off, I believe. So even a better price. So I was actually looking to have some of these in my booth for the summer season coming up to be able to resell. So I know this is the smaller little reproduction one. I liked it that it still had the band on the top. I thought that was kind of neat. So there's that. But I did get my hands on another marshmallow tin in the pouring down rain of that flea market. And I offered the lady, now I purchased one of these before for more, that she still left the price tag on it, but she sold it to me for $100, which at an auction, if I was going to buy it to resell, that probably would have been my top dollar. So there's still wiggle room in there for me to make a profit off of this beautiful marshmallow tin. And I have this one in my collection. I suck at saying names, so Angelus. Anyway, you all know that I slaughter things. Oh, give me this one. Yep. So my next two pieces, actually, I met a viewer down there that's reselling, so that was awesome. I'll insert pictures of people that I met. Okay. So in her booth, I bought this beautiful scale. I love these green scales. They look wonderful in our booth because I sell jadeite a lot. And the only little ironstone butter pat that was just plain white is that I found between all the antique stores that we went to and all the flea market that we looked at was in her booth. So that was awesome. Awesome to meet her and her husband. And then I did find a couple more. These were sold as a set. I made an offer on them. They were in great shape. Like I said, I was looking for blue because I have brown and I have cream. So it's nice to have that blue in there. Now my next piece was from the antique store that we stopped at. One of my goals for this trip is I was looking for pantry boxes, the old measure boxes, the primitive, they're old. I come across them here and there, but not often enough. And when I do, I think I have been underpricing them because as soon as I put them in, they sell. So now I know. I mean, even though Springfield, Ohio prices are going to be a lot higher than Allen, Michigan prices, but I did pick up this pantry box. So they're like little scales, and you can tell because they have these old nails and they would have stored things in it or they would have scooped. So they're always like wooden, and people collect these, and I had a hard time touching any of them. That is for sure. I mean, I think I paid $45 for this one, which probably seems high, but they were running $95 to $385. So I thought that was a great deal on this one. I kid you not, y'all. Look them up. They, not on eBay prices, but in all the antique stores and the flea markets, that's what they were charging for them. And of course, I did pick up a couple weak moment of a couple little terracotta pots. These little accordion coat racks, I sell a ton of them for about the $15 price, so I need to pick it up, of course, weight way cheaper. Chris is unwrapping. Way cheaper than it's funny, we brought a whole tote of wrapping, but almost every place that we bought from at the flea market wrapped it for us, so that was nice. So anyway, yes, I sell a lot of these. I don't stage them. I put them in one of the little cubbies I have where my candles that I resell are. No staging necessary. Another thing I was looking for was jadeite, and I did pick up this little footed Fire King. I'd never seen a little bowl like this, and I made an offer on it, and he accepted my offer. There was actually 2 of them, but unfortunately the second one was chipped, so I chose just to do this one. But yes, jadeite does well, especially the Fire King. And then I did pick up a couple Pyrex that I made an offer on. So there's just this divided dish, but I love that little pattern. I was actually in need of some Pyrex. I have a little space in my antique booth on the antique side that I just keep Pyrex in, and then this little one. So since I bought 2, I made an offer and she accepted, so that was nice. And there's no chips, no cracks, not pieces I normally see, so I thought that was... So I've learned as somebody who is, if I'm going to sell Pyrex and it needs to have a lid, or it needs to be a complete set, and it can't be faded, it can't be chipped, cracked, anything like that. So I steer clear of anything like that. I've actually, like, single pieces of Pyrex have been sitting and collecting dust, so I've been sending those to auctions, so now I know. You know, we're only four years into this and we're learning all the time. So one booth, I have actually bought and resold these little, they're like a Mosier glass. So there are jadeite glass, but they're newer, so that they're not old. But these little roosters, like I said, I have picked these up many a times and resold these many a times. So 2 of them, I made an offer and the guy accepted my offer. You know, just because you make it, there was one item that I made an offer on that didn't get accepted. So 1 out of, I think maybe 75% of the stuff I bought, I offered on, which is, like I said, unusual for me. Oh, and then look at this big daddy of a flower frog. And yes, it was only $12. So I thought that was a great price. Oh my gosh, this guy is huge. How many little cards and little fun things could you stick in that? And at that same booth, I picked up these little mushroom cups. Oh, they are so cute. At first, I just had the one, and she's like, oh no, there's a set. And I'm like, oh, even better. So they are older, they are Japan. So little mushrooms do sell. Another booth, I've talked about trophies before, and this is just a little horse trophy. It doesn't have any like writing on it. Horse trophies, the cup trophies, they seem to be like animals, just plain animal. They seem to sell really well if you can get them cheap enough. And then Chris got a little oil can. I couldn't think of what it was called. Oh, he wanted me to click it. Yeah. The littler ones sell more for him than the bigger ones for some reason. And then, okay, because you know, if I'm gonna go thrifting and flea marketing, I'm gonna find another one of the home interior candelabras to be able to make over. So I don't know what it is about that thing. I already showed that.
All right,
okay. So I did, so when they talk about like the crazy lamp lady, you know, being like glassware. Now the only glassware I'm really looking for, if I'm gonna do, is gonna be jadeite, because that will sell for me, and swung vases. So, and there was a ton of them. I showed you, there was a ton of swung vases all over the place. Like where I'm from, you don't see them. They're rare. to show up at an estate sale, to be the first one at the auction to get that, or at the estate sale to get it, apparently you have to come at midnight and sit in somebody's driveway and spend the night. But so that's not happening. Anyway, so I did choose to, when I was looking for swung vases, I knew that I didn't have any of the amber color right now, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna budget. I'm going to look for some amber colored swung vases, and of course I'm gonna have to make an offer. So this was the first one I got. It's got the hobnail on there. I think it's probably a Fenton with the hobnail, and then it has that beautiful mouth on it, and it is a pedestal. And then, like I said, they took my offers so that I have enough to be able to resell to make a profit. And usually for me, I want to make at least double profit. And I absolutely look at the mouth on this. This one is tall. So it's got that footed pedestal. It's got, I don't know if this is a L.E. Smith or not. I usually Google lens them and they'll tell me the maker. So that was Chris and I's question as we're going through antique malls. Now, I know Fenton, I believe, still makes glass. So does L.E. Smith, Viking, are they still producing, like, these are so hard to find, and like the price, they're popular right now, or maybe they've been popular. Do they still make them? Like, as Viking and L.E. Smith, is that still companies that are still, that I don't know. I really don't know. If you all know, I thought it would be fun to give a shout out and have you guys all tell me. So that was day one haul. Even in the rain. I thought that was a pretty good haul. So come back next week and we'll show you day two's haul, which, even though we didn't stay very long, the dealers were willing to make sales because they had been rained out. They've been rained out, so they were definitely ready to make sales. So we really only stayed till 11 o'clock, and I'm glad, that traffic. Time to leave. Look at all that traffic wanting to go.
About a half mile from the entrance gate.
Oh my goodness, yeah. It's 11 o'clock, we're done on our Saturday, that's for sure. That's all the traffic that was coming in. I would have been claustrophobic with all those people because there was just enough people when we were there. Woo! Yeah, so that was a good time that we were leaving, and then it was going to be like 90 degrees. So.
All right, so at the rummage sale, there was a guy, he had some Tonkas. This one is not in pristine shape, but I do think I can clean it up and make it look good. They sell for a lot more than what I got it. Yet again, like Yvonne was saying, you always haggle with them. And he came down about $10 on it, so it was a good price.
On this piece, I've never seen Chris want to throw his money at somebody so fast, y'all. Oh my goodness. Okay, explain.
All right, so in the morning on day one, we went there. It was raining, and the guy had a bunch of stuff covered up that was outside. We went to the antique mall, and then we thought, well, we'll stop by on the way back. And when we did, he had this uncovered. And I've been looking for this mirror for a long time to go right here.
Yeah, that's the mirror that hung in his grandma's bar.
A similar one.
Similar. It's not the same frame, but I think he's going to try to make a frame, a better frame for it.
A wooden frame for it.
Yeah, so that is the mirror he has been looking for.
And normally these go for a lot of money online. And I asked the guy, thinking that he's going to say $200-300, and he said 40. And that's why I pulled out my money.
Oh yeah, he was like, I don't even.
I didn't haggle with him at all.
Nope, he did not. He was a happy little boy. Anyway, thank you so much for watching and coming along with us to Springfield, Ohio flea market. I can't wait to show you day 2 stuff, so come back next week. Thank you for watching today's video, y'all. We will see you next week, and you can see what we found. Bye.
5.